about that? I don't know. It doesn't tell me. Oh, Old Man Red 32. It's also Kyle, I imagine. Uh, Might be Ben. Kyle. Yeah, Kyle might have told him. It's not showing me my followers count or the viewers there. Just started. I wonder why. Wonder how loud I am. I love you too, baby. I love you too, baby. Oh, all right. Well, let's get into it. Gonna play a deck I've been talking about playing for what feels like a decade now in Blue White Spirits. It's not red, so let's hope we don't throw hard tonight. Oh yeah, we're still rolling. All right, well, Pioneer League. Let's have at it. Already got a match. Well, let's get right to it. On the draw again. Never fails. We're always on the draw. But that's okay. We like to play from behind. Keeps us on our toes. So, our opponent keeps 7. We have no white mana. We like to live dangerously. We'll see what happens. We're on the draw. What? No red. Blasphemy. I don't need your grandpa's pathetic blue card. Y'all are something else. Y'all are starting out something else tonight. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. So is that instant or sorcery? Yeah, so instant or sorcery kind of. We're just gonna leave the Spectral Sailor up. We can flash in the Spectral Sailor and kind of play off that way. And plus, it makes Lofty Denial a hard counterspell. Yeah, I'm okay with taking 1 here. Just to flash this in. So that's pretty rough. We had what 1, 2, 3 draw steps at a white source. So let's see what we can do here. We're more than likely just on blocking duty this game. What's this? What are we looking at? All that glitters? Yeah, that's. We're gonna get that one out of here. Exodia. I imagine, yeah, they don't have another land. I'm okay with. So they don't have another land, which means they have something, which means as long as they don't have another ethereal armor-esque card, we can throw something in front to double block next turn. So, well, that also helps. This just allows us to be able to throw all 3 in front. And if we can get that Saram off the field, we can try to make something happen. Get this Saram off the field, and then like we can try to like bank into a white land, make our stuff cost 1 less, and then we can kind of start going from there. Think you're showing the wrong. Oh, good call, Joseph. Thanks, man. Let's see here. Entire screen, monitor 1. Thanks for the heads up, man. So apparently, like when I play Moto, I have to have it set to like share entire left or entire like screen monitor 1, or else like it just like won't let me Maybe. Good God. Of course you guys are arguing. Anyway, when I have it set to Moto, it just immediately pulls up the first thing that Moto's on, because it technically pulls up another tab inside of Moto when you play on a match, so. Alright, buddy. Let's make a decision. You didn't draw a land. No ethereal armor. No ethereal armor, and we're gonna pill a white source. I can feel it. Alright. Alright. Well, anyway, yeah. Yeah. I've been playing against this Auras deck a lot lately, and let me tell you, I don't know what beats up on this deck, but I need to find something, because what I'm doing ain't working. Chief called, this ain't it. Alright, I don't know what we're thinking so hard about. I really, really, really don't. Galta, yeah, I'm sure that's what he's thinking about, man. You know, and it could be terrible, and it could just be me trying to. No, that's what beats up on it. Oh, does it? I mean, I'll take your word for it. You play Galta, not me, but I considered that there might be some consideration to take the Auras deck and turn it into white-green instead of white-black and play Blossoming Defense. Okay. Yeah, I know he's waiting for me to respond, baby. Thank you. Interesting. So he still didn't hit a land, which I'm intrigued by. So and he gets to draw a card, right? Draw a card for each aura you control. Yeah, so he gets um I don't know, like the Mausoleum Wonder. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna hop in front and leave a Mausoleum Wanderer back because it actually does stuff. So, and giving him an extra card here is not great, but having as many threats off the field as possible is better. White source. All right. Proceed to the cry step. I've been keeping hands based off getting a little lucky lately, and it's not panning out for me very well. We can get some, if we can get a white source, like a couple, like back-to-back white sources, we can get a hand going here and get some things rolling that aren't terrible. Maybe he's got another Hateful Eidolon in his hand. Yeah. So it's playable. It's not great, but it's playable. It allows us to trade off with something else, but again, it's not great because it's whatever we block, it's just putting 2 more cards in his hand. I don't know. I mean, we're probably like peeling into Glacial Fortress here, scooping them up. How will I know? All right, you got 7 cards in your hand, dude. You got to be able to do something. I mean, Jesus. And you haven't played a 3rd land. Maybe we'll get lucky and our opponent just clock themselves. Doesn't exactly feel good to win that way, but you know. We take what we can get. The game seems louder than me. I just turned myself up a little bit. Are you playing the AI or another person? I'm playing another person. I'm playing Magic Online right now, so it's all live people that we're playing against. 5 matches of me getting my teeth kicked in. Ooh, what do we draw? Yeah, man, I got nothing for you. Teeth are overrated anyway. What? Kyle, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? So, this is 13, which means anything that comes through is just lethal. Which means I'm inclined to hop in front, take 6, go to 8, and pray we draw like damnation. Alright, well, not drawing a white source was rough that way. So this game, we want Nebelgast Herald. Man, you can tell I built this sideboard with the idea of trying to beat up on this deck. Settle the Record, Skyclave Apparition, Blessed Alliance. Yeah, my god. We came packed to beat this deck, let me tell you. So cards that don't seem great right off. Trying to think. We probably want this just to like randomly deal with their graveyard. Selfless Spirit seems great because we can block with it and sack. Mausoleum Wanderer seems like a garbage can because there's not really. I mean, there's Kymetra's Blessing, but that's about it. Queller seems in the off chance not great. Giving all my stuff flash is pretty big. So Rattle Chain seems good. We probably cut a couple Lofty Denials, and I mean, we probably just cut another Loft. I don't know. Is it that? I mean, I think maybe Spell Queller's better than that. It's a lot of 3 drops at that point, so we probably just leave in a Lofty Denial and see what happens. Seems like a lot of random counters. I had one job. Yeah, I know, man. At least we get to be on the play this game, so there's that. Round 1, match 2. Port Town Hallowed Fountain with a 1-drop, and Nebelgast Herald is good. Making our creatures cost less is good. Being able to attack, being able to block and sack is really good. Yeah, this hand's great. Knowing us, I'll still find a way to punt, though. We'll see what happens, though. Alright, so our opponent's on 7. If I've learned anything, it's that the people that play these decks never mulligan. Like, ever. So... I don't know, our hand seems pretty solid offhand. End of the turn, we'll flash in the Sailor. Let's get an extra card going. It might not come up, but we'll go ahead and shock anyway, just to preserve information. It's +1/+1. So we can do that and make. So next turn, I just kind of considered it as we got here. We have the, if everything goes accordingly, we have the line of play Watch for the Spheres, flash in Nebelgast Herald. And that seems really nutty for 1 mana. And then we have Selfless Spirit to back up to also play into that game plan. So we're kind of really allowing ourselves to have like a big setup this turn, or the next turn. Having double Reducer is really big. Sentinel's Eyes is fine. Please no Ethereal Armor. Cartouche isn't great, but it's fine. Definitely not blocking here. I don't see a reason. Like, get too much value out of having this card on the field. So, Watcher of the Spheres. It's really, really good. So we get to pump that up, which means we get to get in for 4. So let's say that they untap, and let's say he has double Ethereal Armor and Chimetra's Blessing to protect. I mean, I guess we still have a blocker, so it's not like it really matters, but... Getting to tap that down so he doesn't gain any life is really big. And then having... drawing like a Spell Queller or a Lofty Denial would be big, which is ironic because I cut those cards. There's also a lot of really good draw steps in general, just like an extra Nebelgas Herald is really good. So that seems fine. So we'll put these on this stack first, and then we'll try to tap this down. And even if... Oh, he doesn't have it. Okay, that's good. That or he F6'd because people F6 and get got all the time. So, alright, drawing into the land here is pretty bad. That's kind of rough. So, probably what we'll play the land. We'll play Selfless Spirit. Tap this down. So, and then we get to get in for quite a bit here. A 3, 6, 8, 9. So it's half his life total. Oh, that's right. It only costs 1, and I completely forgot about that because I'm a tard. Let's see. I don't know what he's considering doing. Maybe he's looking at Fatal Push. Fatal Push is something they've adopted in the sideboard, so that could be something we're looking at. So take 9. I can block and sack, and then any flying creature allows me to actually come through for lethal. So I mean, block here, sack, and then hope we draw a flying creature, or we draw another, yeah, I mean, a Nebelgast Herald. Wow. So... we have the option of drawing a card. Man. So there were a lot of good outs that we had right there. So depending on what's in his hand, as long as we can get through one turn of blocking, we're able to... Now he's going to gain a ton, and that's fine, but it's still going to put us on the grindy game plan, which leaves us tapping something down and doing that. Also, the 2/2s aren't bad at blocking because they can block both the Eidolon and the Warrior token. So I think we're going to... I think I'm going to ship in for 2 here and try to see what we can do. Yeah, so, I mean, him taking 2 here puts him to 7. He gains minimum 16 next turn. Probably more, depending on what we're looking at. The Skyclave Apparition, while a good draw step, kind of sucked because anything that was a single white or a single blue won the game off the top right there. So that's rough in a situation like that. He single-handedly attacks with that, so we're just going to hop in front with Spectral Sailor. He's got 2 cards in hand. I'm not sure what they are. Based on the way the game's been played, I don't really feel like there's much to beat. Well, now one of them is Azorius. Okay, so he's probably flooding out kind of hard. Maybe he drew a Chimetra's Blessing. He didn't have one earlier. But I guess it's possible? I mean, our play is to just straight up go for it here. Like, we don't really have much else. And there might have been some argument. Yeah, I think he's got it this time. No, he doesn't actually. Interesting. But Luris does allow him to just straight up play from his graveyard. I think we're going to try to chip in for 6 and try to see if we can get a lucky off the top. Okay, so we did have a Fatal Push, which is fine. So he's got a Luris and an Unknown in his hand. So the most, like, that was like the cleanest play. I mean, like, having Lofty Denial there would just be a blowout. But the cleanest play on the surface to do that and play all that glitters from the graveyard on the Hateful Eidolon. And then he can attack for 3. Attack for 3, put me to 11. He goes to 21. Acceptable outs to this point are another Skyclave Apparition. Settle the Wreckage is really good. There's a lot of good draw steps from here. Island was not one of them. Jesus, game. Give me a break. This is rough. We're looking at an awkward spot here. I think our best play here is to chip in for 2. Hope to make a trade somewhere. I mean, at this point, our one out is hoping he attacks like a fool and we get we get to settle the Wreckage him off the top. Like that's our out. 8 lands and 14 cards, so that what leaves us with 6 spells. Yeah, that's rough. That's kind of rough. I'm pretty sure they take it out against you. Oh, Blessing? Yeah, that would make sense, actually. They took out Chimetra's Blessing. It doesn't seem great in the matchup, so I guess it's just one of those things I instinctually play around. Alright, kid. I really don't like when people use this much clock. It's very frustrating. Of course, I guess he might be lagging. You never know what's going on. So we're going to chip in for 2, put him to 19. And we've got a blocker that gives him a 1-1 back. Like we traded a 15-16 for a 1-1. With no text, I'm pretty sure, so. Man, that's rough. That's rough. Because if nothing else, he gets 2 cards here. Because he can play all that glitters, and then he can also play Sentinel's Eyes from his graveyard, even if he has nothing else in his hand. 7-8. So we're probably going to throw the Selfless Savior, play the Sentinel's Eyes, draw another card. Oh, wait. But yeah, he can escape it. I don't understand. So we're at 11 here. That puts us to 4, which means taking those is actual lethal. So I think we're just going to hop in front here and, I mean, hope to pill settle. It's like our one out. All right, another island. Thanks for playing. All right, well, that was rough. We had some pretty rough draw steps along the way, but we're working out the kinks. And, you know, it's possible I misplayed some there along the way. I'm not entirely sure. The Spirits is a very tempo-y deck that I haven't played a bunch, so it's very possible that I'm just playing it like a fool, but you never know. Hopefully we get a match soon. Sometimes you find a match super quick, and then sometimes it takes a minute. When stuff changes on the game, it's tough to hear me. Okay. Well, oh my gosh, why is that so loud? Thought I had it set to that, but I don't know. We'll try 70 and see what happens. Alright, coming in for match 2. Let's see what happens. We're on the play again. I mean, we're on the draw again. I haven't been on the play in like a decade, it feels like. So this hand's pretty good for the most part. It's Lurrus again, which puts our opponent either on Burn, not likely, or the Aura's deck. Now this hand against Burn is not going to be bad, but this hand against the Aura's deck is going to be pretty rough. So I think we're going to take a mulligan and see what we get here. This hand lacks some white cards, but it looks a lot better than the other one. So we're going to pitch the Watcher and see what happens. And of course it's Burn. Oh, why would it not be Burn? Hey, we pulled a white source, so that's good. And plus it helps that our 1-drop is at instant speed. So guess we're gonna see. Oh yeah, get aggressive. I like it. I like it. Inspiring Vantage. What we got? You got an Eidolon, big dog? We'll flash that in response. This is not a good matchup, notably. We can just conceivably like take the 2 here to try and get Eidolon off the field. Give it self-hexproof to kind of see what we can get going here. Yeah, I mean, this is what this matchup looks like. At least our opponent has to take damage themselves to do stuff like this, so... So they have no wizard, so that is of note. And I'm going to leave the sailor back just to block something here, and I'm going to try to... see what they end up on here. The Swiss Spear is kind of rough, but we're gonna let them have the Swiss Spear because I don't know what the last card in their hand is. We're gonna jump in front there. He's probably gonna play the Wizard's Lightning here. If he's okay with that, then I'm okay with that. Because then we get to get a 2/3 down, and then we get to have Spellcaller back up the following turn. So just so and you know, like after blocks, it feels pretty safe to go for that. And we're just going to hold back because the odds of them having, like, if they have a lightning strike or something to retaliate with, we can also just Spellcaller that. Plus, it forces them to take 2. So Eidolon kind of allows us to race here in some in some way. And this is something that I've learned about playing burn against decks like this, is that you can get in a precarious spot from a lot of things like that. Put Lurrus into your hand. So we got 2 unknowns and a Lurrus at this point in time. Thinking about playing something. So normally I wouldn't be about this play, but it seems like we just need to be getting our spells onto the field. We're going to 7, they're going to 8, and we're putting good blockers on the field. Plus a Lord here allows us to could be wrong, but he's got Lurrus and nothing he can play in his graveyard. So if he's wanting to play Lurrus here, he goes to 6, and plus I'm still representing a counterspell. So, I mean, his hand can't be great. And I'm pretty sure that unless I miscalculated, we have it here. Because if we get in for 6, he's Eidolon locked and he only has 4 points on the field. So he's forced to make a bad attack here, I feel like. And I think he realizes that. So I know it sounds crazy, but I don't want to block here. I'm going to go to 3. I know that sounds crazy against the burn deck, and if he has both the outs, then he has both the outs. I don't know. This is a tough spot. This is a tough matchup too. Maybe 21 lands is too much in this deck. I mean, 12, like, we've drawn 5 spells and 12 cards. I don't know, I think we're pretty much forced to stay put here and just let him make a move. Now this time we're forced to block Eidolon, because going to 1 Eidolon locks us. But this is, this is the lines. And we're still playing out to a Lord here. And we're not going to block with Lightning Spell Queller. I didn't really talk about that, but I'm not going to block with that one just because if he does have a Wild Slash, it ends the game on the spot. And he's forced to take 1 here. That's not good. Put me to 1. Do you have it? Is the other card in your hand a burn spell? So we actually just need to make it through 1 more turn. Interesting spot. I would have played that during my upkeep, but so let's see. The Ether Gust seem good. Oh, come here. Apparitions seem good. Light of Hope and Blessed Alliance seems good. Cards that we don't want, notably. Remorseful Cleric seems kind of bad. Spectral Sailor doesn't seem great. Lofty Denial seems very medium. Very slow, not what we're looking for here. Probably cut a Nebelgast Herald. Probably just looking at cutting the Sailors, I guess. I don't know. Lofty Denial is good, but it's not, so I don't know. We'll just kind of play it like this and see what happens. This could all be wrong. Funny part is I think our first hand would have panned out really well if they were playing Burn. So this card has a lot of hate. This hand has a lot of hate cards in it, but no land, but only one land. So we're gonna ship this one. This is a good mix of things. Creatures you control with flying at +1/+1. I think what we might do is put this back and then play into counterspell onto some kind of removal counterspell into Spell Queller on 3 and see what happens. Start out with a Swift Spear. So, okay, so they played the land. So there was some question to that, and if that would be if they don't attack like that. Yeah, we're just gonna counter this one. They can't pay the 1, so it's basically like a free censor here. Hopefully we draw a land. We draw a Glacial Fortress, which is even better. So now they don't have a wizard, which is good for us, which means they have to have a lightning strike here at instant speed if they want to take care of this. And I am just flat out okay with taking 1 here. Like this is a game I'm willing to play all day. So they're okay with saying that, so I'm going to flash in Rattle Chains. Flash in the Rattle Chains. He's probably going to kill it. Yep, that makes sense. 4 cards in his hand. We're at 17. No creatures on the field. This game could be going a lot worse. So again, we're just going to hold up Spell Queller. And if he does nothing again, we will Aether Gust the Swift Spear at the end of the turn, because that's just where we're at right now. The way the game's played out, I assume he's holding a Lightning Strike of some variety, which is fine. Like I'm okay to sit and play this waiting game. Taking 1 a turn is not going to win him the game for the first 4 or 5 turns. So, all right. So we're just going to do this to get this off the field. Now we're in a spot where if he wants to start applying pressure, he has to make a move during his turn, which is a good thing for us. So we're going to hold up Spell Queller again and make him blink, as it were. Did he put it on the bottom, which is fine. So now this is great. Because unless he has land, Soulscar, or Gitu, and Wizard's Lightning. And so this really plays well. This is a very good turn for us. This is the kind of stuff that needs to happen. Now we have a 4/5 and 2 2/4s on the field. Like it's pretty tough for them to come back from this. And the next turn we have another Anthem effect. Like it's just this is like the back-breaking turn that we were waiting for. Now the rough part is that we have to be on the draw next game. And that's pretty tough. It's pretty hard to deal with. Being on the draw is tough against the old burn deck. So this is really good because we get to go Watcher of Spheres. Spheres? Yeah, Spheres. Into Empyrean Eagle, which is really good. It's a lot of Anthem effects and a lot of reducers. So, I mean, if he doesn't concede here, I'll be pretty surprised. Like, he must have double Wizard's Lightning if he doesn't concede here. Okay. And then we're attacking for 5, 8, 11, put you to 5, right? 5, 8, 11, yeah, put you to 5, and then I have a 4, 5 blocker. Being at 16 health, like this is hitting 4 lands like this on stride that was a good hand. That was like our first like really solid hand of the night. So being on the draw, this probably changes things a little bit. Lofty Denial is probably going to be shit on the draw. So Spectral Sailor doesn't block anything well. And I'm not I don't know, it seems pretty rough, but I think we might bring this in as insurance and then bring in a Spectral Sailor to block with. And just kind of see what happens. Okay, so we have Blessed Alliance to make you sack a creature on turn 2. We have Apparition on turn 3. Our opponent keeps 7. It won't be easy, but I think this is a hand that wins the game with a little help. So G2's not bad. So we're going to take the chance to get that in tapped. There's no point in bluffing anything here. We're not doing anything. And Spectral Sailor's not really a bluff. So, I mean, maybe they play around Spell Pierce? I guess they play around. Maybe they play around Spell Pierce. I doubt it, but you never know. So we take 1. He probably plays Eidolon. No. Okay, so no Eidolon right there is huge. We reveal that island, and we'll keep it on the left so that we can remember that. I think I'm just going to hold up the Blessed Alliance and go straight into Spell Queller. And it might be better to hold the Spell Queller for when we have something. So he's holding whatever he's got. Probably in the instance of trying to play around Rattle Chains at the current moment. Which I'm okay with. You know, I mean, if that's the great thing about this matchup for us, it's about the only good thing for us is that the way it pans out is that they have to play around us. So I think we're just going to go ahead and do it. Could be a mistake, but turns off Wizard's Lightning, which I'm a big fan of, if I'm being entirely honest. That's a big part for me, having off Wizard's Lightning. I don't know, it's all about what they do after combat here that changes a lot of the things that we're doing. Because if they're inclined to play, put Luris in your hand, that is a crazy good turn for us. So we're going to play that island they know about and say go and hold up Spell Queller. Now, short of me playing just completely terribly, which is very possible, been known to do that, it might be smooth sailing from here. Could be wrong. Probably wrong. But they do have 7 cards in their hand. So I'm really hoping that their play this turn is Luris. They're willing to sit here and stare at me like this. I am willing to stare back. And we're just going to keep hanging on to Spell Queller. If I thought there was even any remote chance that the Watcher of Spheres survived through the turn for me to Spell Queller, I would consider doing that. But it seems pretty rough. So we're shocking here, I imagine. Shocking here to play Luris and then hold up Lightning Strike, maybe, for my Spell Queller. Which case is fine, they get their Luris back. But they still can't play anything. So if that's a line that we're willing to commit to here, I'm willing to do that because we get to untap and Skyclave Apparition. And getting to... Okay. Wow. So Chain to the Rocks is pretty bad. We still get to Skyclave Apparition and then maybe trade with the Gitu if they do pump it. So, Insurance Plan activated. So we're doing this regardless. Yeah, because I think we can beat a 3-3. I think this is where we end up on. Yeah, we got a 2/2 reducer in play, and we have a Skyclave Apparition in play. So if they just attack here, if they just straight up attack, I'm okay with trading the reducer. Which maybe I shouldn't be. So Searing Blood that, I go to 16. They get a 3/3. What are we doing now? You got 4 cards in hand. So, I mean, you got to have something that's worthwhile. Like, there just physically has to be something. And it's possible that our opponent still has another land or two in their hand. I mean, okay, so Chain to the Rocks. Alright. Take 4. I'm at 9. They have 1 card in their hand. We need to find a way to apply pressure quickly. See, and the beauty of this is that they'll probably attack because I don't know why they would play around Settle the Wreckage. Now, maybe this guy is, like, next leveling us. Obviously, he's not, but... Allowing them to put 3 more mountains into play isn't that big of a deal to me. Put me to 6. You have 1 card in hand. So we need to draw something here, like let's see, a Spell Queller would be good. Light of Hope would be good. Getting Light of Hope would be insane here because it allows me to blow up Chain to the Rocks and have my Spell Queller. Like, actually, now that I think about that, Light of Hope is, or I think that's what it's called, is the best draw in that game. So we're just gonna run this out. Play that out and say go. Oh man, that sucks. Okay, so obviously our opponent has it, but he's not playing it for some reason, and now he's gonna do it. Yeah. Back-to-back lightning strikes. That's rough, man. There's only so much you can play around. Yep. No Light of Hope in sight. So that was a close one. It's a tough loss to take, but it's really close. We almost got our opponent. It's a bad matchup for us too, so just kind of take those on the chin and roll with them. What should be the same person we're playing again? It'd be hilarious. Alright. So 4 lands is a little much, but we have, I mean, this seems fine. Like, this hand seems doable. Not a fan of being on the draw again, but it's just kind of where we're at right now. Breeding Pool, go. If they're playing creatures in some way, that's a good draw step. Breeding Pool, unless it's like Niv that's playing Breeding Pool, Nebelgast Herald doesn't really seem good in this kind of matchup. Lotus Cobra, okay. It's just tap target creature, doesn't lose abilities or anything. This thing doesn't have reach or some weird shit, does it? It does everything else, it feels like. So, not really sure what our opponent's up to. It looks like some kind of, it's probably like Reclamation or Ramp of some variety. Not sure. Having double Lofty Denial is good though, because it allows us to play around certain things. I bet it's Teamer Reclamation that are just, oh, it's Omnath something. Well, that's great. Okay, just kidding. It's that. Not letting it resolve either way. I don't want it on the field, but so let's see what do we got. So the Watcher of Spheres is really good the following turn. I'm just gonna attack for one again and say go, because I can Nebelgast Herald something at the end of the turn, or I can Lofty Denial again, depending on what they do. Oh, excuse me. This is some kind of at minimum 4 colors, maybe a 5th color like Omnath Landfall kind of thing. I don't know. Like, our opponent may just like next level us and get us, but yeah, I hate to, but we just gotta. Thing's too good. So, and it's not great here, but we do that. We shock. We play the Eagle. We get to buff up a little bit and get in there. So we're getting in for 3, which is a good chunk, and then we have Anthem and a tap down. So I mean, as long as our opponent's not doing something dumb, we've countered 2 4-drops, but they're very quickly tapping mana, which is not good for us. Okay, Felidar Retreat is fine actually. I can live with that. Well, that sucks. Make me immediately eat my words. Make a blue, and we still have like essentially like double force spike for no mana on the field. So I know it's a weird way to look at it, but it's very accurate, I feel like. So now they're gonna have 3 mana. Okay, Growth Spiral. So we're gonna have 2 mana. 3 mana. I'm sorry I lied, because they make one here, make one, then they have the 3rd one. So if the last card in their hand is like insane, then okay, like sure. Now this is cool because they're making a bunch of 2/2s, but I don't know what that red. What are they doing with that? You play like main deck Anger of the Gods or something? Like, am I about to just? I mean, I guess I'm not gonna get got because. Okay. So I think this is still the play here. We're talking about buffing two things twice. I haven't even counted. Is it lethal? Hang on. 5, 9, 12, 13? Or I guess I don't have to let them know I'm playing that, but that's pretty common. So flash this in, bump this up. Should just be lethal unless I miscounted. God, I hope not. Okay, that's nice. The double lofty denial was really good right there. Okay, things that we want that seem good. Light of Hope seems good. Apparition. See, Apparition seems weird but slow. I think I'm going to bring in the other Remorseful Cleric just in case they're playing. Just in case they're playing Uro of some variety. We can probably cut a Nebelgast Herald. Probably cut a Rattle Chains or two. You probably want Selfless Spirit. They're probably playing some kind of sweeper, I would imagine. Well, with all that token, it's consistent token. Well, I don't know. We'll do that and that, and well, yeah, we'll run this and see what happens. See what we can come up with here. So I mean, this hand's got a good curve, reducer, interaction. Like, yeah, this is a good hand. All right, let's see here. Let's play the Island Say Go, flashing the Spectral Sailor at the end of their turn. See what happens. Lotus Cobra. I guess that works too. I mean, one is essentially the other, except they can be killed, so more explosive but can be killed. Slimming Carry is a good card. It was really good in Standard. It's been really good in Pioneer. It's just a good card. Play a land and say go. Definitely has my interest that they're just playing a land and say go here and saying go here. It's nice though. It allows us to attack for 3 and hold up Spell Queller for whatever else they're doing. So I don't care to let that resolve. It's more than likely just a bait or a cantrip in some way. So if they're holding on to something, I don't know what it is, so I'm just going to flash this in and just try to get a little busy here. The second Spell Queller is really good, and now we're just attacking for 4 every turn and seeing what's going on. So this feels like a trap, but we're going to go for it. Actually, it's not a trap. I'm retarded because I have double Spell Queller this turn. Yeah, just kidding. It probably is a trap, but it's not a trap because get got, kid. But how will I know if he really loves me? Okay. So Smoke Queller that. Maybe that was your play. Maybe you don't have another play. Okay, it appears you don't have another play. So the Herald's really good here. We're just gonna get in for 6. And if they don't play anything, we're not gonna do anything. We're just gonna stare at them blankly until they do something. So I don't care about Growth Spiral. There's like unless they're like yeah, it was like he didn't put a land into play earlier, which means he's just cantripping, and I don't care to let him cantrip because I would rather counter an important spell. Oh, excuse me. So and again, this could be a trap, but I don't really feel like I'm allowed. I can play around it. Like we're here. This is what we're doing, kind of thing. We can still always at the end of the turn flash in the Nebelcast Herald and try to get busy with something. So yeah, unfortunately, there's not much to do here. So guess we flash this in and just try to make something happen here. At least he's forced to minus this way, and then we can put cards back onto the board. I don't remember what else I... Oh, the Deafening Clarion. Oh, that was dumb. Just walked right face first into that one. He doesn't even have to minus now. Now he has the minus to bounce. So he gets to bounce something, but he doesn't really have anything going on. So we're just going to put pressure on the board. We're going to put lethal on the board and make him deal with it in some way. So now granted, another like Clarion or something, or Anger of the Gods does deal with that here, but at the same time, like there's nothing we can really do to play around this kind of stuff. The cards have been dealt, and we're just kind of playing them. So obviously he's got something because he plussed. Spring Verdict's double white. I don't really know what we're playing into here, but I'm intrigued to see. Nothing else, just to get info for the next game. Okay. Deafening Clarion at instant speed seems pretty good. And right now it's basically Supreme Verdict, and I can't play at instant speed, so it's not like I'm really doing anything here. Red, white, green. Well, what are you up to there, Chief? Escape to the Wilds. Wow. That card get banned? I mean, obviously not Pioneer, but it got banned in Standard, I think. Something like that. So, The fact that he bounced means he's looking for something and he doesn't really have anything else to do. Now he can bounce again, and he does have Mystical Dispute. So I'm going to use this, and he can play his Dispute now if he wants, and I'm just going to pay 3 for it. And so now if he wants to counter this, that's, you know, that's fine. Like, there's not much to do about it. No, I do not want to pay for Mystical Dispute. Thank you. And now we're just kind of at the mercy of our deck and his. He played the Mystical Dispute from his hand. Bold move, Belichick. Bold move. Oh, well. Alrighty, we've seen all we need to see here. Okay, so he's running at least 3 Deafening Clarions, so we want that other Selfless Spirit. We brought in the Mystical Disputes because they just seem good. Yeah, all the counter spells seem really good here. We're probably looking at cutting Nebelgas Herald and bringing in a Spectral Sailor and just trying to get busy. Didn't really see any enchantments that game, so there might be some argument for cutting, like only leaving in 1. And now we don't want the Nebelgas Herald. Bring in a Rattle Chains as an earlier threat, plus protection from spot spells, spot removal spells. So this hand is garbage. So this hand's really good, I think, because I mean there are multiple reasons this hand is really good. So it's a little aggressive, but we're gonna put an island back. And the way we've drawn tonight has either instituted that we won't draw a land for 20 turns, or we're gonna draw one immediately. So we're going to play this tapped because he hasn't played anything on turn 1 all game. And even if he does, he's not going to play a turn 1 impactful spell that I can Mystical Dispute that's going to matter. And our opponent did an F6 on the first turn of the game. How nice. So they play a Triumph. We're going to go ahead and run this out. Carry it in, okay? Draw a land, please. Draw a land, please. Drawing a land is good because if nothing else at the end of the turn, I'm flashing in a Spell Queller. So that's also not bad. We're probably just going to jam that and hold up the Mystical Dispute. Not guaranteed he plays something that's blue that we get value off of this of, but it allows us to add to the board and hold up some kind of protection at the same time. And we're also drawing to the fact that we're also playing to the fact that if we draw a land at any point, so that's just going to have to be fine. There's nothing else to really do about that. Like, I can't counter that with the Wanderer. I can't Mystical Dispute it. Okay. Not drawing a land is bad, deck. It's bad. So we're just going to run this out. Get in for 4. I still think it was right to put a land back. That's what I would have done if I was playing for, like, money. Like, I would have put the land back. Every card in the hand was pivotal. Pivotal, in my opinion. Okay, I can live with a growth spiral because this means you're trying to go wider than me, and you're not going to win that race. At least God, I don't think you are. I mean, I've been wrong before. mean, now you got a bunch of 3/3s, and then if you have 2 lands, you got a bunch of 5/5s. It's exactly 20. So, I mean, wow. Wow, this is so bad. God almighty. You hate to see it. Got him turning into Grayson. I mean, 3, 5, 7, put him to 8. Hope we draw a land for the Lord and kill him, and hope the mystical disputes save us because we have nothing else. That's our avenue to victory here. Is just playing to our outs, which is to hope that double mystical dispute can bail us out. Of course, it's not going to save us from either a fabled passage or a evolving wilds, and those are lethal. Those are that's death on the spot. But I think we can't afford to play around that. Okay, so that's 16. Oh my god. Wow, that's rough. Well, alright. What do we have? We drew that, so we had 4 more draw steps coming. Jesus, that's rough, man. Nothing you can do about that. We played to our outs and we lost. So. We played to our outs and we lost. There we go. I'm actually going to cancel for a second. I got to use the bathroom. I'll be back in just a minute. All right. So we played a league. Let's see. We played a league Saturday night, and we played a variation of a red deck that I just kind of built off the top of my head. And we went 2 and 3 with it, and I mean it wasn't great, and I felt like there was improvements. Oh yeah, it was the Risk Factor Thermal Alchemist Electrostatic Field deck, and it wasn't great, but it was close, and it feels like maybe if the format was a little different, or if maybe there was just a couple cards, like maybe I was a few cards off. You play decks that go 2 and 3 or 3 and 2 like that, and you think, okay, like this is something that you could win with. This is something you could make things happen with, but it just feels off, or you need a little luck or something. Maybe I'm not entirely sure. Oh, yeah, battery's low. Phone's almost dying. Still gotta attack on Clash of Clans later. All right, anytime, Moto. Anytime. Oh wow, ask and you shall receive. We're gonna be on the play. I can feel it. I can feel it. I don't know why I keep looking over there for the camera. Maybe I should just move over here. Oh, we're on the draw. Fuck you, Moto. So we have counter spells. Like we have interaction. We have counters. We have creatures. Like this hand's great. Why not keep it right? Give it about 5 minutes and you'll find out. What's our opponent playing? Do they register? No, no companions. Spire Bluff Canal. Oh no! Oh man. Hopefully we can get out in front of a deck like this. I doubt it. Being on the draw, it's tough. It's tough to win game like these kind of matchups because if he slams an install artifact here, game's over. Ooh, we kept a one-lander. You're telling me there's a chance. So, the great thing about our hand here is that we can just play at instant speed. Whole thing's at instant speed right now. Nebelgast Herald is really good in this spot because it allows us to play around that. So, I don't really want to counter this. I'm okay with taking 3 and going to 15 here to put a threat on the field. I think that's a reasonable trade. I think that's a fair trade. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. So we're gonna take that, and then we're just gonna flash into Rattle Chains here. And this is really good because it gives all of our other stuff flash too, so it allows us to flash in a Lord if we want. Drawing the land there is big because now we get to go Nebelgast Herald into Flash and Supreme Phantom into either Rattle Chains or Lofty Denial. So it really is setting us up here for the long game. Yeah, we're just going to attack for 2. We're going to get busy. Our opponent's missing lands, and so we're just going to try and take advantage of that here. Had to say something. Had to say something. Hate to see it. You hate to see it. Get Grayson in the chat. You hate to see it. I guess the good news is that if they play something that's backbreaking here, we can also just Lofty Denial it. Now, it's a very bad tempo swing to do something like that. I mean, I guess it's not that bad, but we can. It's something to think about. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and tap down the Bomat Courier here, just so they can't have extra cards. I mean, I haven't played against this deck in a while, but I don't think they play main deck counters. Every time I've said something tonight, I've been wrong, so. Oh, they play the counter, that. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I did not think about that one. And that's okay, though. I mean, we're not super hurt over that. I think I'm just okay with playing Double Lord. Like, honestly, like, I don't think there's something they can play that's backbreaking enough to get that out of the way to make me think this is a bad plan. It might have been super aggressive to go for that line. So the line might be Flash and Lord, hold up Lofty Denial, or Rattle Chains. Now, we stand the idea of losing to set by creatures with haste, okay? Seems like an aggressive thing to play into off the top, but get blasted? I mean, I guess we can get shrapnel blasted here, but I don't like. Is getting shrapnel blasted really in the game? Like, I mean, I think I'm just lining up for double blocks here. Oh, I can't double block. Duh, that was stupid. But like, unless they draw land, I don't understand the point. Maybe they're just wanting to get damage through. Maybe their hand is just atrocious, and they just need to get damage through. I don't know. That's a interesting line of play to me. I don't see, and now I'm even more confused. So I'm okay with saying get in for 6. We put them to 8, and then we have 6 on the board, and we have like what, 8 more points we can flash in. Yeah, so I mean, we have counter spells, protection. We have a lot of what we're looking for in this matchup, and I think game one, that's how this is going to go most of the time. I know it sounds like it's like super aggressive and greedy, but I think we try to counter that. He's only got one card in hand. If he's got a counter spell, that's fine. I'm okay with him paying 3 to counter that. So, okay, Ginger Brute. Shrapnel Blast is still not enough to kill me. I mean, double Shrapnel Blast is not enough to kill me with that, but he could be hanging on to block Shrapnel Blast something here. We'll just hit that. But if that's his play, we have Spell Queller for the blast, so normally I would just slam that. 4, 8, 10, 12. We have exactly 12. Having Spell Queller for the blast here is really good for multiple reasons. So, yeah, I mean, take 8, go to 4, and we're holding up Spell Queller from 10. I mean, from 11, basically 10 if he pays to get that through. So I'm not really worried about whatever's happening here. Yeah, I was like, this still is pretty in hand. So, let's see. Offhand, Nebelgast Herald seems really good. They don't really play enchantments. They play artifacts. Skyclave Apparition seems really good. Settle the Wreckage also seems very clean. Mystical Dispute is, I don't know, like it could be good, could be nuts, having interaction for their turn to Insult Artifact. But I don't think it's great. Remorseful Cleric of note doesn't seem great. Selfless Spirit's good for blocking and sacking. Lofty Denial seems kind of slow on the play. And we can probably realistically cut a Sailor, try to make something happen that way. So this may be terribly greedy, but it's kind of the line that we've landed on here with what we're choosing to go for. So our opponent mulligans, which is neither here nor there because our opponent's deck is extremely explosive. His hand is kind of slow on the draw. There's interaction, counter spells, but there's not really like interaction as it were. I think we keep this and hope it pans out. Now, based on all of the games so far between Saturday night and tonight, that does not seem like a good plan. But I'm very focused on trying to not think based off results, trying to think based off what should happen. Plus, our opponent's on 5. That always helps. Not to say we couldn't get ran over right here. Them playing a 1/1 Stone Coil Serpent on turn 1 is a good start for us. Also, drawing that's not bad. Like, if there was a time to draw a Hallowed Fountain, it was on turn 1 right there, so. Insult Artifact, make me cry. Like I said, Insult Artifact, make me cry. So, this is going to be tough. Drawing that's not what I was hoping for. I guess we should have brought in Light of Hope, maybe just to play around that card. Seems a little aggressive, but I could see an argument for it if that's something that we wanted to be doing. I don't know, Joseph. If you're in the chat, what do you think? Do you bring in Light of Hope in this matchup against the Insult Artifact deck? It seems a little greedy for me, but I'm curious to get a second opinion about that. Um, I probably would. All right, well, if we lose this game, which seems inevitable, we'll bring it in next game and see what happens. So we'll play that. We'll attack for 2. And then we can play that and hold up Queller. Yeah, man. 6/6 Trampler, get in there. I'm a 2. It's not great, but we got to get it down. So, and if he's got it, he's got it. I mean, that's just all there is to it. It appears he just does not have it. So we're going to play this. Oh, wow, I just realized that this thing has protection for multicolored and I can't block it. Lol. I think that's how they say in the business. Get wrecked. Okay, so Light of Hope. Blessed Alliance doesn't seem bad, honestly. So we'll cut the Spectral Sailors because they don't seem great. And then on the play, you could probably talk me into Lofty Denial in some fashion. We'll have the 2 in just in case, and then we'll bring in one more and cut a couple of these just because I don't know what else we're doing. We'll probably cut Rattle Chains. How about we cut 1 Rattle Chains and 1 Eagle and we see what happens. Alright. So our hand is 1, 2, 3 into Massive Backup Plan. This is great. I can't wait to see how we lose this one. And last game's exactly what I was talking about at the beginning. It's very possible to just get run over by the Insult Artifact deck. It's extremely aggressive and can just play out of nowhere. So, there aren't many instant sorceries in the deck, but this does help us play around that to some extent. I think I'm willing to let this come through. That's a good draw step. So we're going to play the Watcher. We're not going to buff that because it's not a spirit. And then we're just going to get him for 1 again. Their hand's not completely reliant on Insult Artifact, or he wouldn't have attacked on turn 1, I don't think. So I kept another 1-lander. This guy is more greedy than me, and let me tell you, that is quite impressive. So I think we're just wanting to do this and just start getting busy. We're winning the race. This is good because I mean this is a big chunk too. Getting in for 7. And we could be representing Mystical Dispute here. That's something that they could that our opponent may think we brought in, which is completely reasonable to some extent in my opinion. I just this hand is a prime example of why it's not good. Ghost Fireblade costs 2 less to equip, right? So it costs 1. I mean, I'm kind of hoping our opponent kind of sees the writing on the wall here. Yeah, I was like, yeah, he definitely did. So, the old 1-3 so far. So we're just kind of hoping to scrounge that with our 50 points here, kind of make it back out. I don't know. The deck seems good. The first hand didn't really pan out that well. Game 1, I kept a greedy hand. Game 2, and it got the best of us just because I never drew into a white source, Now, with the way the hand was set up, that hand wins the game with a white source. And then we had 3 draw steps to draw one. So I was pretty on board with drawing with keeping that hand on the draw in hopes of drawing a white source. Because even if we draw a port town early, it's okay. Like we played into that. And then round 2, we lost a burn in game 3 after back-to-back lightning strikes. There wasn't really much I could do about that one. I don't really know that I misplayed, but it's possible. And then round 3, oh yeah, we played against like 4 color cards I own, and we lost. Hey, we get to be on the play for once. Let's go. This hand seems fine. Play our aggressive 2-drop into play both of our cards on turn 2. They have no companion, so we don't really know what we're up against. We're going to play basic island as not to give away any information here. So Glacial Fortress, that's interesting. Wonder if this is some kind of a weird control deck or if we're playing the mirror. I think playing the mirror with Nebelgast Herald in the main and a reducer on turn 2 is sets us up very well, in my opinion. Alright, not the mirror. That was quick. Oh, it is the mirror. Get wrecked. So we're going to tap that down. The rest of our hand plays at instant speed too, which is really good. I need to F6 and yield through this turn. I'm not a fan of the Shackle Guys card personally. I know a lot of people are fans, but I'm just not. So the Nebelgast Herald has just single-handedly allowed us to take over this game. Now that could run out. We do have another tap effect and a Lofty Denial, so that's pretty solid. And I'm a pretty big fan of that, because pretty much no matter what they're doing from here, we have answers. Probably holding company. Yeah, more than likely. I mean, like holding company along like with Spellqueller and other things that are very good. So it could be wrong and like very aggressive, but we're just gonna go for it. Yeah, see, they just had flat out nothing, and missing the lands is really good like that. Well, good for us anyway. So Settle seems good, Apparition seems good, Nebelgast Herald seems good, Mystical Dispute seems really good. Probably get rid of the Remorseful Cleric. It doesn't really do anything. Probably cut Lofty Denials in some fashion on the draw. Spectral Sailor doesn't seem great. You want all the Anthem effects you can get, and I mean you're probably just looking at cutting into the Lofty Denial. Mystical Dispute's better than Lofty Denial because it's 1 mana. My opinion, my personal opinion, it's better. Lofty Denial could be right. Like, again, anything I do is to be taken with a grain of salt. I've never even played the Spirit Stick in Pioneer, so this is all for naught, as it were. Drawing another Anthem effect is really good. We're going to represent here, just because I think it's pretty good. And we're probably not going to dive too hard into the Phantoms. See, and having Mystical Dispute there would have just been a blowout. So we're going to Port Town, reveal this, and I think we're just going to hold up Rattle Chains. And again, that could be wrong, but I want to keep the 3 Lords as long as possible. And I'm okay with attacking for 1 here, with him attacking 1. We're going to 19. He's probably got Spoke Weller in his hand. And the green gives him a huge bust out in the mirror. There's no substitution for that. That is for sure. This probably gets Spoke Wellered, if I had to guess, which is fine. So we can play this and get a Lord down. Seems very advantageous. Wow. So we don't have a company. He's got Empyrean Eagle, which is really good here. I'm okay with taking the 4. I would have been okay with taking 6, really, if we're being honest. I think we're just all in here. I think we're actually just all in on this plan. And we're gonna say, you know what, come get it. Like, get in for 4. And with 3/3/5s back, it seems pretty okay to do that. Because I have the Nebelgast Herald to try and tap something down, which is also gonna be a 5/4. So we're kind of just hoping our opponent doesn't draw into like a Collected Company or something busted here. The card's fine. We're playing something else here. Is it another Lord? That kind of sucks. So we're gonna flash this in. And depending on how they attack here, well, they're not going to, which is kind of smart. So this is what sucks about Spirits. That there's just no way to really like prevent flooding. You know, like with Burn you have Lurrus, and with the Aura's deck you have Lurrus, and like with like a lot of the like aggro decks in the format you have good tools. But there's just not in Spirits. Like you have the Spectral Sailor, but that's it. Like, and Spectral Sailor would be good on a field like this because, man, that's backbreaking. Once he gets one off the field, well, he can't get both. So there's that. And we knew this was coming. So Nebelgast Herald is actually really good here. We're just kind of playing around the fact that he doesn't draw a counterspell or a company, like, and it's not great. But I think it's what we got to do here because we have to bait him into attack. Like, I guess we should probably do it during the upkeep because he's not going to be attacking. Things we want him to attack with include anything Lord-wise. Please, no Spell Queller. Okay, that's really good. So, because it becomes a 4/3, which doesn't really tangle with anything. So, we want to tap this. And realistically, we want to tap this. That gets turned into a 3/3, which means we can still block two things. We can try to even up the board here, you know, like we can try to make some things happen. Which is fine, you know, we're doing what we can here. I mean, at some point he just becomes able to tap down all of our stuff if we don't start drawing spirits, which kind of sucks, but it's where we're at. It's just flat out where we're at right now. And there's just nothing we can do about it. We just have to hope this Lofted Denial kind of comes in clutch. It's obviously not coming in too clutch. Our opponent's flooding. And they're just going to go for the big attack, like, next turn. And I can't blame them. So Spectral Sailor's not bad. Spectral Sailor's probably not complete trash, like, here. Like, I mean, honestly, like, it allows us to draw a card. And having Flash is really good. So we get to tap down two things here, this way. And he's going to try to go, I think he's going to try to go for an attack here. Man, you are flooding like a fool. So again, things we don't want to attack include this. Now we have some kind of card draw engine on the field, which is good, you know, like we can just start going after that. I mean, the way this game is shaping up, I'm inclined to believe that we're winning this game. But man, it's tough to tell in these kind of like stocky creature mirrors. And again, we're just going to draw a card. We're just going to keep taking cards. Like, hopefully there's no backup counterspell. Woo! Alright, cool. So, we snuck out with the win there. Mostly because our opponent flooded, and that was really bad for them. But it wasn't bad. Like, you know, like the deck played pretty functionally, I felt like. So let's see. So we counter this. We get to tap down a couple things here, like these two things. Then we get to untap, draw, and then tap down the other two things. Yeah, that the writing was on the wall there. So, you know, things that we could consider changing. So, things that could be changed. There's some consideration to just playing Remorseful Cleric in the side and not playing any in the main. I like having some main deck hate against the Oops, All Spells, Charbelcher pile of cards. And I guess there's some consideration to cutting a land. I guess when you're stopping at 3 with the occasional 4, it's not that bad. So maybe there's some consideration to playing 20 lands. Maybe you play 20 lands and play a 4th Selfless Spirit in the main. That seems fine. Like it's questionable at best, but it seems fine. I can get down on that. So yeah, deck's not bad. Played a pretty good league, I feel like. A couple misplays, a couple bad decisions on the hands, but overall not that bad. We're gonna get the cards out of here, and we're gonna fire up some Rocket League here soon. Probably gonna start out with some maybe a couple games of ones just to like warm up, and then I got a few buddies of mine I'm gonna see if I want to play. I mean, they're probably the only ones occupying the chat right now, but that's okay. So we're gonna try and get some Rocket League in, play a couple games of ones, practice speed flipping some more. I've been working on speed flipping, wave dashing, and half flipping, and I feel like I've got a lot of the basics down for half flipping and for oh, excuse me, um, for half flipping and for wave dashing. I'm trying to learn how to wave dash, chain them together to get up to speed, and that's not quite so easy. So we will see what happens here. We're gonna take a short break though, and I will be back in a few minutes.